at 12. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Canelo. Man, yeah, we still alive.
There we go.
We got.
Terence Crawford is making every effort to persuade Canelo Alvarez to step into the ring for a highly anticipated super fight between the two boxing superstars. While Canelo's strength and punching power may intimidate some fighters, Crawford remains unfazed. Speaking to TMZ Sports, Crawford confidently stated that he's absolutely certain he would emerge victorious if he faced the Mexican superstar in the ring.
Fall fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that I step.
Terence Crawford is determined to convince Canelo Alvarez to face him in the ring for a blockbuster showdown between the two boxing icons. Despite Canelo's reputation for immense strength and punching power, Crawford isn't intimidated. In an interview with TMZ Sports, he expressed full confidence, declaring he's certain he would defeat the Mexican superstar if they ever fought.
Yeah, I can't rap. That's what I'm saying. So I gotta stick to what I know. I beat people up.
Oh, God.
I beat people up.
I see it as a legacy fight, Crawford said. I believe this is the biggest fight in boxing today if it happens. While he acknowledges the challenges ahead, including Canelo's size and power, Crawford remains confident. I've been fighting bigger guys my entire life, he told us, guaranteeing he'd secure the win. Of course I'll beat him, the 41-0 star declared. There's no doubt in my mind that I can beat anyone I step into the ring with. But
I'm gonna start rapping, man, and then everybody gonna be saying, man, I'm being Roy Jones Jr. I'm coming out like Roy.
Crawford isn't sure about the time or location for the potential fight. He just knows he wants to give the fans what they're asking for, and believes Alvarez should too. According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, Alvarez had been eyeing a potential rematch with Dmitry Bivol in May, contingent on Bivol defeating Artur Beterbiev for the undisputed light heavyweight title. However, with the two Russians set to clash again next month, Canelo might still be interested in taking on the opponent who handed him a career-defining loss.
To come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight, you know.
Crawford hinted on X that Canelo Alvarez is his next target following Saturday's bout. Turki Alalshik, chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, told Mike Coppinger in August that he's working with Crawford to secure the fight. I'll offer Canelo what I believe is a fair price, Alalshik said. If he accepts, he'll deal directly with me to finalize the deal. No intermediaries. I've guaranteed Crawford a big fight. I want Canelo for Crawford, and Crawford wants Canelo. But if Canelo's financial demands are unreasonable, I'll still guarantee Crawford any fight he wants. Crawford extended his undefeated record to 41-0 with a victory over the Uzbekistani challenger in a super welterweight championship match, claiming the WBA super welterweight title. He is 11-0 by 2 rounds and leads 2 out of 3.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'll be a well-fought fight.
Alvarez has bounced back with 5 consecutive wins since his loss in the light heavyweight division to the skilled Russian fighter. However, critics argue that he's been taking on easier opponents to bolster his record. The 34-year-old boasts an impressive 62-2-2 record in 66 career bouts. But many in the boxing world believe Crawford wouldn't stand a chance due to the weight class difference. It's so funny because I was like watching this fight. One notable exception is two-weight world champion turned boxing analyst Tim Bradley. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Bradley revealed that after carefully studying both fighters, he now predicts a dominant victory for Crawford.
I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez.
I woke up at 3 a.m. with the feeling I had to study Canelo and Crawford, said Tim Bradley. After watching both, I'm telling you, Crawford is going to dominate Canelo Alvarez. He's about to dismantle him completely. A victory for Crawford would be a monumental achievement, adding to his already stellar resume, which includes becoming the undisputed champion in both the super lightweight and welterweight divisions.
Right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney.
Tim Bradley didn't hold back this week, taking to his YouTube channel to challenge Canelo Alvarez. The former boxing champ called out the unified super middleweight king, urging him to stop dodging Terence Crawford and give the fans the fight they've been waiting for. Bradley's message was clear: fans want this fight, and Crawford deserves his shot at greatness. But does this matchup make sense? According to Bradley, it absolutely does. You already ran away from the Benavidez fight, Bradley said. Make the fight with Crawford. That's the fight everyone wants to see. He also dismissed the idea that Canelo's size and power would be too much for Crawford. Bradley noted that Canelo began his career at 147 pounds and stands the same height as Crawford, proving that the two fighters are more evenly matched than critics suggest.
You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro. Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there.
You're walking around Mexico like you don't care what people think about avoiding this fight, said Bradley. Make the fight with Crawford. It's the fight everyone wants to see, and it gives Crawford the chance to prove his greatness to you and the world. Bradley's bold statement isn't far off the mark. This matchup would undoubtedly generate massive excitement. Canelo, with a stellar 62-2-2 record, remains boxing's biggest star, while Crawford, undefeated at 41-0, has long been hailed as one of the sport's most technically skilled fighters. So we will begin from the first ever mask guard fight, called Toti Forever, in Canelo with the sport's most technically skilled fighters. But here's the catch. Crawford's last fight against Israil Madrimov didn't exactly inspire confidence. While he secured the win, it was far from a dominant performance. Crawford absorbed too many right hands and appeared less sharp than his usual self.
He just told me Crawford beats Canelo.
Crawford beats anybody he steps in the ring with.
For Canelo, there's not much incentive to take this fight. He's already proven himself against bigger, stronger opponents, and Crawford hasn't done the necessary groundwork to earn a shot at 168 pounds. Critics argue that if Crawford truly wanted this fight, he should first face fighters like David Benavidez or Artur Beterbiev to show he can compete with the bigger names in the division. By the way, boxing fans are divided. On one hand, the idea of a skill versus power showdown between two generational talents is exciting. On the other hand, Crawford's age, 37, and lack of experience at higher weights make this fight seem like it could be one-sided.
He don't go, no one beats him. No one beats Terence Crawford.
His athleticism and defense to get out of the way.
At the end of the day, Canelo doesn't need this fight. He's already secured his place as one of the greatest, with plenty of other options on the table. As for Crawford, if he truly wants to step into the ring with Canelo, he may have to take the tougher path to prove he deserves it. Tim Bradley can keep advocating for the fight, but for now, it feels more like a dream than a reality. Crawford has accomplished a lot in boxing, but a victory over Canelo would be his greatest achievement yet. Perhaps you should leave and choose to continue the journey forward, perhaps with Prince at your side, showing you the way.
He should be able to beat Canelo, man. Slow plodding forward, good jab, got good quickness, throws a lot of hooks. Crawford just get away from all of those, get underneath them, bro.
The super middleweight world champion has suffered only 2 defeats, one to Dimitri Bivol and another to Floyd Mayweather. If a fight between Crawford and Canelo happens, McIntyre will closely analyze the Bivol fight. If the fight ever materializes, that's the one I'd go back and study, McIntyre said, regarding Canelo versus Bivol during an appearance on the Luke Thomas YouTube channel. He made Canelo move his feet.
This is real simple. It's real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that.
Hey, Terry's gonna get in there and do what he needs to do. Perform.
I'd also look at Mayweather versus Canelo, said WBN, as they believe Crawford is now on a short list for a potential fight with the Mexican superstar. After months of media attention on the potential clash, World Boxing News also reports that Turki Al-Sheikh could sponsor the event as part of the Riyadh Season USA, which would be held in Las Vegas. If confirmed, this super fight would mark Al-Sheikh's first involvement in a headline event in what true boxing fans consider the sport's capital. Al-Sheikh had prioritized a Canelo vs. Crawford fight for 2024 after working with Crawford for his August bout against Israil Madrimov. However, following some frustration, the Saudi chairman reassessed his approach. And this is such critical stuff. And
Heard Turki Al-Sheikh say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And
I just wrapped up an important meeting with my team planning the upcoming fights for 2024 and 2025, Al-Sheikh said. I decided to disregard the Canelo fight because I don't want it anymore. Instead, I'll focus on the US market with bigger fights, especially for the legendary Crawford. Especially, he said, sliding a red plastic card across the table and gesturing to the March crowd. However, that stance has since changed as the talk of Canelo versus Crawford gains momentum again. Crawford shared with former opponent Sean Porter that he wasn't impressed with Canelo's attitude toward the fight. I heard Canelo say, "I'm easy work. If I were easy work, why wouldn't you take all that money Al-Sheikh is offering you?" Crawford told the Porter Way podcast. Here's a screenshot of Canelo letting loose and drilling Carriage A on July 16th.
In hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was going to beat Smith. It's real simple. Real simple. You just got to know.
But still, he wants $200 million for Benavidez and $150 million for me. So that tells me right there, I'm a threat, Crawford said. I'm a threat to him and his legacy. Sparring partner Kenneth Sims Jr. spoke explicitly to WBN about the possibility of Crawford facing Canelo. Sims believes the former welterweight king has what it takes to win. I'd like to see the Canelo fight, Sims said. I've seen Crawford in the ring with much bigger guys, so I think he can pull it off.
Have any offer, and look, I'm 100% focused on this fight, and then we'll see.
Currently, Crawford is the top contender on a short list, with fighters like Jermell Charlo and Chris Eubank Jr. unlikely to get the call at this stage. A rematch with Dmitry Bivol could also be an option if the light heavyweight manages to avenge his loss to Artur Beterbiev and claim all the belts at 175. However, Canelo typically has his Cinco de Mayo plans set by then. If Bivol wins the Beterbiev rematch on February 22nd, the super middleweight champion may revisit a Bivol revenge mission in September. Canelo Alvarez has indirectly confirmed his willingness to face Terence Crawford, creating significant buzz around what could become one of the most highly anticipated fights in boxing today.
Possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer, and look,
This potential showdown would feature two elite fighters at the peak of their careers. The clash between Canelo and Crawford promises to be monumental. Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has dominated his division with a combination of power and precision. Crawford, widely regarded as one of the most skilled fighters of this era, brings a mix of technical brilliance and intelligent strategy that has propelled him to the top of the pound-for-pound rankings. Though Canelo is the fastest world champion and most likely to live for several decades, the contrast between Canelo and Crawford rankings. In an interview with Sway's Universe, Canelo Alvarez expressed his openness to the fight. "I'm in, why not?" Canelo said. "Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money. If the money is right, I'm in. I don't like to fight guys like Crawford. He moves a lot, and the fight isn't that exciting. But I saw in his last fight, he didn't move that much. So if the money is right, I'm in. Right now, there are weight classes for a reason.
And focus on this fight, and then we'll see.
You have the fights going on as well with UFC, September 14th. How do you feel about that? Like that happened the last time you faced Cole?
This statement marks a significant shift for Canelo, who had previously expressed hesitation about facing Crawford, citing the lack of credit he would receive for defeating a smaller opponent. Meanwhile, Crawford has remained persistent in pursuing the matchup, willing to move up 2 weight classes to prove his dominance. End of quote, unquote. Apparently, Crawford has remained persistent in pursuing the matchup, willing to move up 2 weight classes to prove his dominance. The end of quote from Crawford. Seeing the loss of his match, the all-out war between people who couldn't see the loss of power, seeing the loss of history, the loss of identity, Crawford is fully aware of the physical disadvantage he would face against Canelo, acknowledging that size will play a key role in the fight. However, he remains confident in his ability to overcome this challenge and impose his boxing style. Some analysts have expressed doubts about Crawford's ability to compete effectively at super middleweight. This skepticism stems, in part, from his most recent fight, a points victory over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, which lacked the dominant performance many had expected.
In hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence. It's real simple. Real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say it.
Despite these concerns, the potential bout between Canelo and Crawford has captured the imagination of boxing fans. The combination of power, speed, technique, and charisma from both fighters sets the stage for what could be an unforgettable spectacle. While some believe the press conference was a significant step toward making the matchup a reality, it still seems destined to remain, for now, just a dream. It still seems destined to remain, for now, just a dream. Matchroom's Eddie Hearn, who has had a close association with the Mexican superstar, recently shared insights into his conversation with Canelo about the potential fight. Unfortunately, the outlook isn't promising. If you recall, Saudi royal Turki Al-Sheikh was also pushing for the fight during Crawford's bout with Israel Madrimov last year. Al-Sheikh had even asked Hearn to reach out to Canelo's team to make the fight happen. However, the fight never materialized, and the conversation about it has slowly started to fade.
Stuff overseas, Canelo versus Crawford negotiations, so-called behind the scenes. I want to talk about, 1, is Crawford ready for that fight? 2, how do you see that fight playing out? And 3, is this a reality?
To put the final nail in the coffin, Hearn appeared in an interview with Fight Hype where he was asked about the potential fight. I'll be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happens, Hearn revealed. I think His Excellency has been pushing for it, but it didn't seem like it was something Canelo was really up for, to be honest. Hearn recalled a previous conversation with Canelo, explaining, "I think his feeling is, when I beat Crawford, everyone will just say I beat a 154-pounder. He also mentioned that at this stage in Canelo's career, he's focused on fighting opponents who will come forward and engage, something Canelo believes Crawford won't do.
I'd be very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest. Like, when I've spoken to Canelo before about that fight.
Notably, Crawford is moving up several weight classes for this potential matchup, putting him at a disadvantage in the fight. Even if he makes it to 165 pounds, Canelo would still be the bigger man, so Crawford would need to stay agile on his feet to secure the win. Hearn shares this view, stating Crawford can't really come to fight in this matchup because he's at a massive size disadvantage, he told Fight Hype, reiterating his belief. So there's just like this level of desperate, like Crawford can't really come to fight in this matchup because he's at a massive size disadvantage, he told Fight Hype, reiterating his belief.
I think his kind of feeling is, when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten a 154 pounder. And he also, I think, at his age as well, I don't think he wants to be fighting guys that are just moving all the time, and he wants people to come to fight.
I don't think that fight will happen, Hearn said, reflecting the grim reality surrounding the potential matchup. Despite this, people continue to share their opinions on who might come out on top. Meanwhile, someone who has fought both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has offered his thoughts on why the two haven't faced each other yet. Former unified super lightweight champion Amir Khan moved up 2 weight classes to face Canelo Alvarez in 2016 at a catchweight of 155 pounds. The fight ended in the 6th round when Canelo landed a powerful right hand that sent Khan crashing to the canvas. Khan also faced Terence Crawford in 2019, and after being dropped in the 1st round, the Englishman lost by technical knockout in the 6th. In an interview with Boxing News, Khan shared his perspective on the potential showdown, saying, "It's gonna be a great test for Crawford."
I think that Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes.
When asked why the fight hasn't happened yet, Khan stated, "It seems to me that Canelo is scared and doesn't want to fight him. All these excuses he's coming up with." End of chapter 24. End of section 30. Survivor, parents, and post-trauma recovery experiences. Timothy Bradley, a 3-time boxing champion who won a belt from Manny Pacquiao, predicts Terence Crawford will defeat Canelo Alvarez despite being the smaller fighter. He points out that Canelo hasn't scored a knockout since 2021. The two have been tipped to meet in the ring since the end of 2024, but so far, nothing has come to fruition. So, luckily, the fight has been scored in fruition. That nonetheless, there's still significant excitement surrounding the idea of the unified super middleweight champion facing the light middleweight title holder.
He should be able to beat Canelo, man.
I'm skeptical about the fight. I will back Crawford because, again, I think that he's special.
The fight would feature an intelligent and powerful switch-hitting brawler in Crawford against a relentless pressure fighter in Canelo, who is known for his durability, heavy punches, and exceptional counterpunching defense. However, on the subject of Canelo's power, Bradley believes it has diminished enough that it won't pose a significant threat to Crawford, even if he has to move up 2 divisions to make the super middleweight fight happen. Everyone keeps talking about the weight, saying he's gonna knock him out, Bradley said on his YouTube channel. When was the last time Canelo knocked someone out? Y'all can quit with that "he's gonna knock Crawford out" talk. Come on, man. Didn't we just see someone like Alexander Usyk fight Tyson Fury, who was quote-unquote 50 LPS heavier? Okay. Everyone keeps talking about the weight, saying he's gonna knock Crawford out talk. Come on, man. Didn't we just see someone like Alexander Usyk fight Tyson Fury, who was quote-unquote 50 LP heavier?
Special, and he's a friend of mine, but that's a dangerous fight, man. That's an extremely dangerous fight, dude. And Canelo lands one bomb.
Canelo is the same height as Crawford. He's not a natural 168 pounder, Bradley said. He's a great fighter, absolutely, but so is Crawford. Great fighters know how to figure it out. While it's true that Canelo's last stoppage came against Caleb Plant at the MGM Grand in November 2021, Bradley overlooks the fact that the Mexican star has faced and defeated reputable names like Gennady Golovkin, John Ryder, Jermell Charlo, Jaime Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga.
On Crawford. It might not be good. It might not be good. I don't know, man. It's just a dangerous ass fight.
Since his last knockout, Canelo has won 5 fights, all by unanimous decision, in dominant performances that helped him retain his unified super middleweight titles. His only loss during this period came to Russia's Dmitry Bivol when he challenged for the WBA light heavyweight title. While facing Canelo Alvarez is Crawford's ultimate goal, the American boxer has other opportunities ahead. He could defend his super welterweight titles or even step up to the middleweight division, hence, super welterweight titles or even step up to the middleweight division.
Crawford has the balls to be able to do what he needs to do. Crawford is a dog. I'm not gonna say a lion. He's a dog. Cause them lions died out. Canelo is so predictable, dude. You know a hook is coming. You know when the right hand is coming. You know he's going down to the body. He gives it away.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.